Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Heavy Tones, the channel all about going low and heavy with guitar. And in this video, we're going to take a look at Plugin Alliance and Brainworx' new amp sim, which is the RockerGain 100. Now, this is clearly based off of the Orange RockerVerb 100 watt amp, which is an all tube-based amp, 2-channel amp, where you can really get some very nice high gain sounds on it. And two well-known artists that use it and endorse it are Jim Reed from Slipknot and Head from Korn. So if these are the tones that you're after, then you can really get that gritty, low gain sound from this plugin. First off, I'm going to do a little playthrough so you can hear it in action in a song and a mix, and then after that we'll go through and take a deeper look at the plugin. In the song, I'm going to be using my Ibanez RGRB6, which is a baritone and it's tuned down to drop B flat. And if you like what you see on this channel, please hit that subscribe button and also click on the notification bell to be notified of future videos. So let's go through that video and I'll catch you afterwards to go through the plugin. Okay, so now let's take a look at the plugin. So this is my project in Logic. I've got some drums, some bass, and then I've recorded 2 guitar tracks, and then I've also got some synth tracks that I've just added to layer up over the chorus. So here are just the guitars. Okay, so those are the guitars processed by RockerGain. I'm going to go onto this guitar track over here, and I want to open up this plugin, which is the default state of the plugin. And also, I just want to move that track to the center because it has been panned to the left. So this is the default UI that you get when you open up the plugin. Just quickly going through these parameters. You've got your power to bypass or turn the plugin on, your input where you can set it to a high impedance or low impedance. Here you can switch between the dirty and the clean channel. You've got your master volume. Then this is the dirty channel with a volume, a treble, mid and bass, and then the gain to gain or gain up the sound to get it more gritty and distorted. And then here is the clean channel, which is pretty simple, just with a treble, a bass, and a volume. Now, if you haven't used Brainworx plugins before, here's maybe something that you didn't know. When you click on this area over here, it opens up to reveal more parameters where you can edit the plugin. Starting at the top here, you've got your gate, where you can set the threshold and the range. Then moving on over here, you've got a filter section where you can tighten up the bass by filtering out some of the lows, and then also smoothing the high end by filtering out some of those highs. And you can set these to pre or post, or even turn the filters off completely. Then here is an effects section where you can set a delay, you can tap in the delay time, set the time manually, and then also mix it in dial in how much feedback you want of those delay loops, and even add some lo-fi to make it even more sort of gritty sounding. Then down here is the recording chains, which is basically impulse responses that have been recorded of speaker cabinets that you can use. As you can see, there's quite a selection going through from some 4x12 American speaker cabs, then the diesel cab, some English cabs, and then on to the orange 2x12s to the orange 4x12s. If you click on this RC info, it gives you details on each parameter. And then when you click on this here, you can see the different cabinets used, the microphone, the preamp, and the EQ. And a pretty neat feature with Brainworx is you can click this auto. So what this does is it cycles through all the impulse responses after a bar. Let me show you how this works. So I'm going to click auto, I'm going to solo that track, and I'm going to play back. See how it cycles through there. So you don't have to click each time to change it. You can just maybe play guitar and it'll switch through until you hear a speaker cabinet that you like, and then you can switch to it. Now I'm going to turn that off. And if you want to use your own sort of third-party impulse responses, you can click RC off. As I play back, you'll hear how that's going not through any speaker cabinet, and then I can add my impulse response speaker cabinet, which I'm using here, which is Get Good Drums Studio Zilla, which is an emulation of the Zilla speaker cabs. And now I've got the head of the RockerGain going through my own impulse response. And then lastly, here is where you can change the input gain and you can change the power soak. So basically you can pull this down and gain it up a bit more to sort of break up that sound a bit more and get it even more gained up and saturated through the emulation of a tube sound going through this amp. And then here you can bypass the preamp if you really wanted to, or even bypass the power amp of the whole amp. So now let's go through the settings that I used for my guitars so you can hear how I used it. I'm going to turn this back to where I had it panned to the left. And on this guitar, I've used some settings here where I've tweaked the dirty channel. I've gained it up, added some treble, some mid and bass, dropped the master, and then for the amp cab, I'm using an English 4x12, and it sounds like this. Now, I just want to quickly show you this filtering section. If I pull this down, you can hear a lot more low end. And then when I pull it up, so it filters out that low end. Maybe you find that that's taking up too much headroom in your mix and the bass is actually occupying that area. You can take this to tighten up that low end by removing it. The same with the high end. You could filter out the high end. And then on this next guitar track, over here, I've used a sort of different configuration. With this, I'm using a diesel 4x12, and I've just tweaked some of the other parameters, gained it up a bit more, and backed off on the bass. And it sounds like this. The two together. And I've used quite a decent amount of gain. Just working with the dirty channel, if I play back, you can hear as you drive up that gain, you can really get some dirty, gritty sounds with that as it gains it up and saturates that amp. Now, I haven't really used the clean channel, but just to give you a quick demonstration, I'm going to switch to the clean channel and play this back. Maybe I'm going to cycle through this section over here where I'm playing some chords. Tweak the treble, reverse it with some more bass, and even on the clean channel, if you increase this volume, it's going to overdrive the sound. But that's not really what you're after. I'd say if you want to get some overdrive, rather use this dirty channel and keep the gain down quite a bit. And obviously, if you really want to get quite a heavy gain sound, you can gain this up. So now that you know what these guitars sound like reamped through this RockerGain, let's take a listen from the beginning through the whole mix so you really get an idea of what you could do with this plugin. With no bass, and then adding the bass back in. Great stuff. So that's taking a look at the user interface and tweaking the parameters and what it sounds like with the RockerGain. Great. So I hope that gives you an idea of what this plugin sounds like and what you can achieve with it. You can really get some deep, gritty sounds when you pump up that gain on that second channel. I'll leave links in the description on where you can get this plugin. And if you like this video, please click on that subscribe button. I'd highly appreciate it. And please also leave some comments on what you'd like to see in future videos and what you thought of this plugin and this video. Also, click on that notification bell to be notified of future videos. So I'll check you in the next video.